The rivalry is renewed. Time for a little payback. Cubs, Cardinals, next on WGN.
Well, the Cubs and Cardinals rivalry dates back to 1892, and the Cubs have won 5 of the last 6 season series as they play Game 1 of 15 here in 2011. Cubs baseball on WGN. The Cardinals and the Cubs, and we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. And hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The wind is blowing in, even though it's a beautiful night for baseball here. And the Cubs actually outplayed the Cardinals last year, even though overall they had a tough year.
Well, they played up to the level of the Cardinals, let's just say. Very hotly contested games all season long, but the Cubs came out with 9 victories in those 15 matchups. Runs per game very even, home runs very even, batting average about as even as you can get. Albert Pujols, you know he's going to do his damage. Just try to eliminate the runners on base in front of him.
Cardinals are in first place, mainly offensively because of these 2 guys, although Bob Holliday and the former Astro Berkman have struggled here.
Yeah, they're having good years leading up to this series. We'll see what happens here at Wrigley. They have not had good success in this ballpark. They have not had good success against Zambrano.
Great pitching matchup. Chris Carpenter against Carlos Zambrano, and look who's back in the friendly confines. Ryan Theriot playing short and leading off for the Cardinals. The Cardinals and Cubs are coming up next. Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser Select. Full flavor, 99 calories. The exception to the rule. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Ford, the newest vehicles on the road are now at your local Ford store. Like the all-new Ford Explorer, SUV, 100% reinvented. Visit localfordstores.com. Ford, drive one. And by the Illinois Lottery. How does $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life sound? Then play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. The longer you live, the more you get. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. We hope you enjoyed the weather. For those Chicago area viewers watching tonight, a little bit cooler because the wind's coming off the lake. Here just a few blocks off Lake Michigan, but you could not dial it up any better for the Cardinals and Cubs. Tony La Russa is not here tonight, and we're not sure he'll be here at all in the series. His bench coach Joe Pettini is the acting manager. Tony has been diagnosed with shingles, a very difficult situation to deal with, and he's been battling this for quite a while, and he's in Arizona at the Mayo Clinic, so we hope he's feeling better.
Number 11, Jose Oquendo. And now it's time to play ball. Leading off for the Cardinals, the shortstop, number 3, Ryan Theriot.
Well, we were wondering what sort of reaction there would be to Ryan Theriot returning to Wrigley. I thought he'd be cheered and then booed later, but Cub fans focusing in, I think, on his offseason comment when he got traded from the Dodgers to the Cardinals, and he's now on the, quote, right side of this rivalry. Carlos Zambrano deals low. We're underway.
I got to admit, I was with you, Len. That's kind of been the history of Cub fans with a returning player coming back to Wrigley Field. Usually they cheer him in his first at bat and then boo him the rest of the series, but Cub fans jumped right into it this year.
Get you the rest of the Cardinal lineup here in a second. Theriot back at Wrigley for the first time. And the last time he was here, he was in a Cubs uniform facing his teammate now, Chris Carpenter. July 25th of 2010. He had a single and a triple in that game, and then got dealt to the LA Dodgers along with Ted Lilly. And then over the winter, he was sent from the Dodgers to the Cardinals. Just got a piece of it. And the count holding it 2-2.
Zambrano with a nice cutter off of that outside corner. Tried to get the swing and a miss, but Theriot able just to get a piece of it to stay alive.
Another 2-2 pitch is fouled back.
Unless Ryan Theriot has changed drastically since his time with the Cubs, it would seem to be the kind of hitter you want to pitch him up and out over the plate with the wind blowing the way it is tonight. Let him see how far he can hit it into the outfield, and from past experience we know not very far.
The Cardinals lead the division at 20-15. They're a game ahead of Cincinnati, 2 up on the surprising Pirates, and 4 ahead of the Cubs. They have scored the most runs of any offense in baseball. We've seen Ryan Theriot do this quite a bit. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
It almost seems like opposing hitters work too hard to get Ryan Theriot out. You throw borderline pitches, he'll foul them off and stay alive in the at-bat. Make him put it in play.
And he does. It's got by Castro, and he just gets him. Let's check out the rest of the Cardinal lineup. Tony La Russa sent it to Joe Pettini earlier today. Again, he's in Arizona. Rasmus Pujols off to a slow start. Look at that, 248, but the guys behind him just crushing it. Holiday, Berkman, you've got Molina the catcher, Nick Punto at second, Daniel Descalzo at third. They've got a couple of injuries, which we'll talk about, and Chris Carpenter, the pitcher, still without a win here on May 10th. Colby Rasmus fouls straight back. Skip Schumacher and David Freese, their second baseman and third baseman, are on the DL. And they knew before the season they weren't going to have their ace all year. Adam Wainwright had Tommy John surgery. That's out into left center, and Soriano will have to chase it down to the wall as Rasmus will make second with a 1-out double.
Let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively tonight behind Carlos Zambrano. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Soriano in left, Bird in center, Fukudome over in right field, Ramirez, Castro, Barney, Pena across the infield, third to first. Giovanni Soto doing the catching tonight for right-hander Carlos Zambrano. Get a look at his numbers on the season. I don't know how you feel, Len, but his last outing against the Dodgers in L.A., one of the most relaxed, in-control outings we've seen from Carlos Zambrano in his career. Went 8 strong innings, gave up only 5 hits and 1 run. 1 walk on the afternoon, was ahead in the count almost all day long, and was dancing in the dugout between innings.
He's won each of his last 2 starts. A 2-0 count on Albert Pujols. Well, it's strange to see 35 games in, he's hitting under 250, but you know he's going to bust out of it at some point. You just hope it happens after these 3 games. Breaking ball is over for a strike. He has reached base in 10 of his last 21 plate appearances, including 4 walks. 7 of his 15 hits against the Cubs last year left the yard. And that one glances off Zambrano. Everybody's going to be safe. And it'll be an infield hit for Pujols.
Big Z usually in pretty good fielding position after he releases the ball out there. This one appeared to catch him on the right leg. Unfortunately, Castro was starting up the middle of the field to possibly get to the ground ball. Ramirez holding his ground at third base, and the ball just trickled over into no man's land for an infield hit.
Well, if you're wondering, Bob, who's leading the majors in batting average, there's your answer, Matt Holliday. And if you say, Glenn, who's second? I would tell you it's the guy on deck. How about that? Holliday and Berkman, 1-2 in batting average, 398 and 374. And a fastball for a strike.
And those are the kind of things you have to have happen when you lose your #1 run producer. Not necessarily lose him, but have Albert Pujols get off to the start that he's off to this season. You need somebody to pick up the slack, and Holliday and Berkman have more than done that.
Inside 1-1. I think it really goes to the depth of their entire team when you think about what they've had to battle through to win 20 of their first 35. Swing and a miss. Let's check out the umpires tonight. Doug Eddings will get the plate. Crew chief is at first. Dana DeMuth, Kerwin Danley, and Paul Nauert at second and third respectively. Good block by Soto. And it's 2-2. I mentioned Wainwright done for the year. Chris Carpenter without a win, but they have 3 other starters with at least 4 wins, including Kyle McClellan, who essentially replaced Wainwright. He's 5-0. Longtime pitching coach Dave Duncan. The closer Ryan Franklin got demoted from the 9th inning. But you look at the rest of their bullpen, and it's been really good.
Only 1 lefty in the Cardinal bullpen, but they have 3 right-handed pitchers that have done extremely well getting out left-handed hitters. Yeah, all things considered, I think the Cardinals are pretty pleased to be where they're at. Gio limping a little bit after blocking another pitch in the dirt. Sometimes when you slide over there and your feet cross behind you, you might kick yourself on the inside of the ankle sometimes. They roll over on that ankle a little bit, trying to get down and keep the ball in front. Looks like he's going to be all right. Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, giving him a minute or 2 to catch his breath.
Three and 2. We'll see if Pujols is on the move. And he is And that ball's just foul, rocketed past third base. Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting provided by WRTO La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports leader. Julio Benitez and Hector Fabregas with a call in Spanish. Pujols runs again, ground ball, base hit. Rasmus is in. Pujols big turn. He's caught up now between second and third. Throw goes to third. Safe. Soriano had to throw off the back foot. And two bad things happened there. Pujols is safe and on the play. Matt Holliday got second base. 1-0 Cardinals. No error on the play.
Right, but Albert Pujols just played Alfonso Soriano like a high school kid playing with little leaguers. He rounded that bag intentionally too far, hoping to draw the throw behind. When Soriano held on to the ball, he then advanced on to third. The throw was offline. Just pick it up and hold the guy where he is. Throw to third base, hold him at second, keep the double play in order. Now the Cubs are going to have to walk Lance Berkman to bring Yadier Molina to the plate.
Yeah, that is the sort of play that will not make the manager in the home dugout very happy.
I mean, you could clearly see Pujols had initially stopped after rounding second base and then took 3 or 4 more big steps, hoping to draw a throw behind and then advance on to third base. Didn't work out exactly that way, but still got the desired result for the Cardinals. Runners in scoring position. Now an intentional walk to load them up.
So Berkman takes the walk, and here comes Molina. Four straight Cardinals have reached.
Molina 0 for 3 this season with the bases loaded. However, he's been very good with runners in scoring position this season. .313.
Cornermen in, double play depth in the middle, and it's low ball 1. Terrio grounded out to start it, but the Cardinals have rallied since. Could be 2 here. Barney, Castro, Pena. So the damage limited to 1 run. The Cubs are coming up against Chris Carpenter. The Cardinals brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball, and your Chicago Cubs. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Big change tonight is Starlin Castro hitting 7th. Really been a struggle here lately, down to 300, but remember how high his average was. Mike Quaddy just trying to get him to relax and get this offense going.
Take a look at the Cardinals defensively. Holiday, Rasmussen, Berkman across the outfield. Descalso, Terrio, Punto, and Pujols across the infield. For my money, the best defensive catcher in the game right now, Yadier Molina, 3-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time All-Star. Behind the plate tonight for right-hander Chris Carpenter. As Len mentioned, Carpenter without a victory in the early going this season. He'll actually throw 3 different fastballs, a 2-seamer that will sink away from left-handed hitters, a cutter that will work into the left-handed hitters, and a 4-seamer he'll ride across the top of the zone. Real good curveball, good straight changeup. He's got all the weapons necessary to win at this level, and that's all he's done.
3-0 on Kosuke Fukudome. Carpenter's 36, 6'6", 230 pounds. And even though he is winless in 2 decisions, he has 5 quality starts out of 7. The Cardinals, however, have gone just 1-6 when he's been out there, as Kosuke takes the leadoff free pass. Brings up Darwin Barney.
Defense has been a problem for the Cardinals in the early going this year. They're tied with the Houston Astros for the most errors in the National League with 29. Ryan Theriot with 8 already this season.
Barney essentially the replacement for Terrio, who had moved over to second when Starlin Castro came up about a calendar year ago. Saw a lot of Blake DeWitt and Jeff Baker at the end of last season with a little Barney sprinkled in, but he's now started 24 of the Cubs' last 26 games, and go all the way back to April 1st. He was the opening day starter at second. Line shot, base hit. And the Cubs now 2 on, nobody out.
Nice piece of hitting by Darwin Barney. Takes a middle of the plate fastball, just punches it straight away into center field. Colby Rasmus, the only Cardinal outfielder with an assist from the outfield this year. The corner guys Holiday and Berkman have not thrown out a runner on the bases yet this year.
Now, there was a lot talked about and written about Lance Berkman and how Berkman playing right would really hurt the Cardinals. He hasn't played the outfield regularly in a while. He's basically been a first baseman since. But when you look at what he's done offensively.
Yeah, I was just about to say, as long as you drive in more than you let in. 32 ribbies on the season for Berkman. I don't think he's let in 33 runs yet, so he's ahead of the game.
And I recall Tony La Russa saying as long as he makes all the routine plays, we're fine.
Well, and there are ways to cover for a guy that possibly playing out of position. You can cheat your center fielder over a little bit to help him out. Have your cutoff guys go out a little deeper when the ball is hit into the gaps.
Well, Bob, we've talked ad nauseum about the Cubs' ability to pick up hits early in innings, and then for whatever reason those runners end up stranded. And right off the top here, they get the first 2 on. Let's see if they can come through.
Well, I know before the ball game today, Rudy Jaramillo had all his hitters in the lunchroom there with the big dry erase board going over all the Cardinals pitchers and their tendencies and what they were likely to do. And I think there was a message at the very end of the meeting about that exact thing. Hitting with runners in scoring position. Trying to put together better at bats. Swing at your pitches rather than the pitcher's pitches.
think there are a lot of interesting questions to ask. Are the Cub hitters changing their approach? Are pitchers pitching them differently with runners on base? And is it just a coincidence? Berkman, we just talked about him, and the ball's going to drop, and everybody's safe. Out into no man's land, and Marlon Byrd with a bloop hit for an 11-game hitting streak. They are loaded with nobody out.
A lot of people are going to say, well, Berkman should have caught that ball, but Nick Punto, the second baseman, really gave up on that ball quickly. He hasn't played much here at Wrigley Field, if at all, and probably isn't familiar with the winds and how it will affect pop-ups. I think that's a ball the second baseman probably would have had a better chance to catch if he continued out into shallow right field rather than have Berkman try to make the shoestring catch charging straight in.
Ramirez way out in front, pulled it foul. And just to finish my point, you know, some would say the Cubs are hitting, and over the course of 6 months, if you continue to hit, you will score runs. Just don't know how it can continue to. You can be among the major league leaders in batting average in general, but then with runners in scoring position, be right near the bottom. Yeah, it's got to even out at some point.
I think it will, Len, and I think there are a number of factors, but for me, probably the most important one is what I mentioned before: pitch selection. You know, try to remember who's in trouble right now. Chris Carpenter's in trouble. You got the bases loaded. You got a poor defense playing behind you. He's the one that has to execute perfect pitches. Now, granted, Ramirez behind in the count 0-2 right here changes everything, but you know, when you have a pitcher on the ropes like this, understand who the pressure's on. Make sure you get a pitch that you want to swing at.
Ranking third in the majors, hitting .268, but they're 28th with runners in scoring position at .213. Outside, 1-2.
And that 0-2 count, Len, you'll see some pitchers go up the ladder with a high fastball. Some pitchers will knock a hitter off the plate. But Carpenter usually goes right to that outside corner. Or in that case, a little bit off of the outside corner. That's kind of his go-to spot when he's ahead in the count.
Here it is. Just missed the outside edge. 2-2.
That was a two-seamer. Tried to get it to come back to that outside corner. Fortunately, it does not.
Late swing just to stay alive. Aramis has one home run, and it came over a month ago on April 6th off Armando Galarraga of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Up the middle and through, and the Cubs now will get the lead. A two-run single by Ramirez. And it's 2-1, and still nobody out. That's the exact kind of approach Rudy Jaramillo wants.
Yeah, just stay on the ball, try to drive it to the big part of the field. That time Ramirez got jammed a little bit, but strong enough to muscle it through that infield, giving the Cubs an early lead here. This is not what we expected with the Zambrano-Carpenter matchup. Both teams scoring in the first inning, but a lot of baseball left to play.
Curveball stayed inside to Soriano. 1 ball, no strikes. Alfonso with 11 home runs, tied with Curtis Granderson for the major league lead. Tapper foul. This is the 23rd time the Cubs have faced Chris Carpenter, and they've only won 8 of his first 22 appearances against the Cubs, but the Cubs have won their last 3. Out in front of a curve, 1-2.
For Carpenter, his last 2 starts against Atlanta and Florida gave up 10 hits in each of those ball games. 7 innings against the Braves, 6 innings against the Marlins.
Nice play by Descalso. They get 1, they get 2. No chance for Punto to try for a triple play. So that goes 5-4 on the double play.
That had the earmarks of a potential triple play. A guy that doesn't always run hard out of the box. A hard hit ground ball to third base with runners at first and second. Fortunately, Punto decided to hang on to that ball at second base.
His shift against Pena, not quite as drastic as most teams. Terrio still is on the shortstop side of the bag. And a called strike. Seen a lot of good signs from Carlos Pena lately. 4 for 9 with a homer over the weekend against the Reds. You see hitting over 300 with all 3 of his home runs here in May.
Making a lot more consistent contact as well. A lot of swings and misses early in the season. It's starting to square that ball up with more regularity. You could almost see it coming, Len. We talked about it. He was hitting drives to the warning track into the teeth of the wind. Long fly balls to straightaway center field, just missing him. A lot of towering fly balls that were dying on the warning track. You could tell with each game he was getting a little bit closer. And that big series in Los Angeles really got him jump started.
Comes the 0-2, and that one almost hit him. One good week, he is now tied for second on the team with the 3 home runs with Giovanni Soto. Soriano has 11. Like to send us an email, LennonBob@Tribune.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well.
The Cardinals play that pull shift on the infield, as you mentioned, not as drastic as some of the opponents the Cubs have played against this year, but perfectly straight away in center field. Now Colby Rasmus just walking a few steps over to left center. I think he's engaging the fans out there in the bleachers, but defensively in the outfield, they're playing about as straight away as you can play.
Nice piece of hitting by Pena as he took that ball the other way. Soriano will end up at third. They're at the corners.
I mentioned that Holiday and Berkman, neither one had an outfield assist yet this season. Oh, they a very cautious outfielder. He'll back up on balls to make sure he gets a big hop. He'll rarely throw for an advancing runner. Content just to toss the ball back into the infield and hold Pena to a single.
Well, Pena's off the interstate, as they say. He was at 198, now at 207 with that base hit. Starlin Castro used to batting with men on base, but from the 3 spot. Tonight he's hitting 7th.
Well, everything but the pom-poms. Just get a little more emotionally involved, will you? Every game he's not pitching, that's his standard perch right there. Galen, it may seem like a simple thing, maybe a silly thing for some people, but if you've been around Major League Baseball for any length of time, it's not unusual not even to see the other starters on the bench during a ball game. You sit up in the clubhouse drinking coffee, maybe get some work in the training room or the weight room, getting ready for their next start. But Matt Garza is always out on that bench between starts cheering his teammates on, and that means a lot to the teammates.
Well, Bob, I think what you saw on the top of the first, some sort of injury as Gio was stretching his left leg after blocking a pitch. Coy Hill is going to take the at bat with the bases loaded as Castro walks.
You can only hope that's not anything too serious. It just seemed like an innocent enough block of a pitch in the dirt. We've seen Gio do it numerous times this season. But like I mentioned, sometimes your legs just get crossed in the wrong way, or you land on that ankle a little awkwardly. Not quite sure what the injury is.
Infield pop up, and it'll be Descalzo from third to make the catch. 2-run single by Ramirez. 2-1 Cubs after an eventful first. Coy Hill obviously staying in and catching, and we'll get you an update on Giovanni Soto, but this might be it. The top of the first.
Like we said, we've seen Gio make a similar play many times already this season, just sliding over to his right to get in front of a pitch in the dirt, but came up limping. Stayed in the game and was able to finish that top half of the first, but now replaced by Coy Hill.
This game could be about 8-7. You consider all the opportunities each team had in the first inning. Punto is a switch hitter. We mentioned Skip Schumacher is on the disabled list. Right triceps injury. David Freese, the third baseman, has a fractured hand. Foul tip, strike 3.
Watch the Cubs take on the Cards tomorrow at 7:05 right here at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Cubs cereal bowl, compliments of Jewel. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. I know you would refer to it as an ice cream bowl rather than a cereal bowl.
Either one.
Either one. Multi-purpose bowl tomorrow.
1-1 on Descalzo. One and two. And a left, Soriano leaves his feet, makes a grab.
Tracking it all the way into the glove that time, and a much better fall for Alfonso Soriano. We've seen him collapse out there when trying to make diving attempts. Much better body control here. One barrel rolling up with it. Nice done. Nicely done.
Strike on the pitcher Carpenter. 2 career home runs for Carpenter. I think both pitchers feel probably pretty good that they didn't give up more in the first inning. Cardinals could only get 1 on 3 hits and an intentional walk, and the Cubs got 2, but then had more chances. Carpenter gets a hold of one. Soriano chasing, and the leap, the catch. Nicely done. 2 times in the inning. 2-1 Cubs. Carlos Zambrano will lead off for the Cubs in the second. Nice play by Alfonso Soriano to rob Chris Carpenter of probably a 2-base hit. Golfed high in the air. And pushing that ball right into the glove of the center fielder Rasmus. We want to let our AT&T U-verse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high definition channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all our different live camera angles here at Wrigley. Pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T U-verse channel 780 or HD channel 1780. I don't know how they do what they do in that production truck. I go down there and it's all very foreign to me.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it before. It's like making sausage. You don't want to really see how it's done, but you like the end result.
Terrio played that one hopper and got Fukudome for the out.
I'll tell you, as pleasant a day as it was here in Chicago, this is a very strong wind they're featuring here tonight, blowing in from right field across toward the left field corner. You mentioned that fly ball by Zambrano really got pushed back towards center field. The wind always has a huge factor in what happens on the field on any given day here at Wrigley, but it's really going to play tonight.
You've got Carpenter and Zambrano here. You've got Roy Halladay and Josh Johnson battling in Florida. They're in the 6th inning, 1-1 Phillies and Marlins. I didn't write it down, but hopefully you can remember what I told you. I think Roy Halladay, his last 19 decisions against the East, is 18-1.
18-1. That's what you told me. Yep.
With like a 1.50 ERA. 2-2 to Barney, back up the middle. Carpenter actually put his pitching hand down but missed the ball, and Darwin is 2 for 2.
Hey, Cub fans, if you want to manage a game along with Mike Quaddy, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Barney fake toward second, and he just got back to first in time. Started to spin his wheels a little bit in that dirt.
I think he had every intention of trying to steal the base, but as you said, lost his footing a little bit. And that is not a good feeling as a base runner with Yadier Molina behind the plate. 38 pickoffs in his career, only one so far this season, because certainly most players in the National League are well aware of his arm and how much he loves to throw.
Now, Doug Eddings just fired a fastball right to Chris Carpenter. It was very impressive. Do the umpires play catch and stretch out their arms before the game? Because that could hurt.
Yeah, it could. I don't know. It always used to bug me.
You'd prefer the catcher to throw it back to his pitcher?
Or just toss the ball to the pitcher. There was one umpire in the National League who's still in the National League. I won't name any names, but he liked to do that too. He liked to fire the ball back to the pitcher. And you know, when you've got 6'10" Randy Johnson on the mound and he's jumping for one and picking another one out of the dirt, you know, just toss it back to him. I don't want my guy working any harder than he has to, just catching a throw from the umpire.
Barney keeping the inning alive with a 2-out single.
If I remember correctly, what I told him was, you had your chance. That's why you're an umpire.
That was nice of you to say. 2-2.
I won't repeat what he told me, but It was an ongoing conversation.
To see the youngsters in the yard tonight. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's the first punch out for Carpenter. 2-1 Cubs at the end of 2. The HD shot of the game. The Cubs, Illinois Governor Pat Quinn, Consul General of the Dominican Republic, Giselle Castillo-Veramus, honoring players from the Dominican Republic in a pregame ceremony tonight. Cubs baseball as Terrio lines out to Castro. Ryan is 0 for 2. Cubs baseball is brought to you by Xfinity only from Comcast. Ball one to Colby Rasmus, who doubled and scored in the first. Seen the Cub version of that cap quite a bit here. A few Cardinal fans sprinkling into the ballpark. Down the middle, and it's 2-1.
Wish I could give credit where credit was due, Len. I read something, a little shot at the Cardinal fans, said you always know when the Cardinals are playing the Cubs at Wrigley Field because you see all the tractors parked around the ballpark.
Two on Rasmus.
It seems kind of odd playing the Cardinals in a midweek series. It's almost always a weekend series when the Cardinals come up here to Wrigley.
Yeah, I don't remember him playing a weekday series. Ball hit hard, but run down by Marlon Byrd. That's 4 straight lineouts for the Cardinals.
What would you do with an extra $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life? Play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. You keep living, we keep giving. $1,000 a week for life. The longer you live, the more you get.
By the way, the update, Giovanni Soto with a left groin strain. That's why he had to leave before his at bat in the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 on Albert Pujols. Z working quickly. That backs up Ramirez, but he has plenty of time, and he gets Pujols for the out. 7 in a row sent down by Z. 2-1 Cubs. Cubs lead 2-1 on a Ramos Ramirez bases loaded 2-run single back in the opening inning. He will lead off the home third and swings and misses at a curveball. Base hit. He's 2 for 2. Hey, Chicago area viewers, Monday, May 30th is Memorial Day, and Bob and I will be sitting in the Bud Light bleachers. Would you like to join us? Just send a postcard with your name, age, address, email, and phone number to WGN TV, Thirst Row, with Len and Bob, 2501 West Bradley Place, Chicago 60618. One lucky winner will get to bring 3 guests and sit in the Bud Light's Thirst Row seats. They also get to hang with us in the bleachers for an inning. And for more information, go to WGNTV.com/contests. We look forward to that.
That'll be pretty fun.
It's against the Houston Astros. Right here on WGN. Bob will be wearing that Cubs mask.
All right. I don't know. Try to scare Michael Bourne. Center fielder for the Houston Astros. Let's see if we can get into his head a little bit. Doug Eddings once again giving a catcher a little extra time behind home plate. That last foul ball off the bat of Soriano looked like it clipped Molina on the right shoulder.
A pop-up, and Rasmus will get it in short center for the first out.
Hey, Cub fans, support Ron Santos' fight for a cure. Join us at Wrigley Field for a special night when the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation honors the Ricketts family on Thursday, May 19th. The special dinner includes a ballpark tour, a chance to play catch and hit in the batting cages. All proceeds benefit JDRF. For information, go to www.jdrfillinois.org.
Peña's 1 for 1. Fastball is off the inside corner.
And it's pretty apparent just from the first at bat of this ball game for Carlos Peña and the first pitch of this at bat that Carpenter's going to try to stay inside on his hands, keep him from extending, getting the barrel of the bat on a pitch on that outer third of the plate, even though Molina moves out that direction now.
Berkman plays it on a bounce. Peña's 2 for 2.
And that's why you want to try to stay in on his hands. When you allow him to extend, that's when that bat really can do some damage. He's quick on pitches away and can pull him back to his pull field like he does on this offering from Chris Carpenter. Two-seamer on the outside corner. He's able to cover it and pull it back into right field.
Castro walked in the first inning. Well, it might not seem like a big deal. I think that's a good sign that he's not expanding his zone too much. Pitchers are trying to get him to swing at their pitch, and lately he has, and he hasn't had much success. Cubs with 7 hits already. 2-0. Carpenter's a 3-time All-Star, was a Cy Young winner back in 2005. He's from Manchester, New Hampshire. And a first-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays 18 years ago. should be 2, 6, 4, 3. Cardinals turn their second double play. It's 2-1 Cubs. Carlos Zambrano working with a 2-1 lead. He's 22-7 since 2008 against the National League Central. 12-6 in his career against the Cardinals. Major League's leading hitter Matt Holliday back in the 400s. On Saturday went under 400 for the first time since April 16th. Slider for a strike. 1-2.
Excuse me, Len. One thing you can almost be sure of with Matt Holliday is at some point he is going to go into a tailspin. He uses that high leg kick with his left leg as a timing mechanism, and guys that use that kind of a leg kick, when their timing is good, they can be as hot as any hitter on the planet, but at some point it's going to leave him a little bit. The timing is going to be thrown off and he'll come back to earth. He's still going to put up very respectable numbers this year, no question about it. I just don't believe he's going to challenge 400 all year.
Well, he just struck out. Number 2 for Z. Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF. Beautiful night to be up on the rooftops tonight. Well, Matt Holliday said the other day this guy's probably been the MVP of the league to this point, Lance Berkman. Only Jose Bautista of the Toronto Blue Jays has a higher on-base plus slugging than Berkman does. Just foul by less than a foot, maybe just a few inches.
Well, Berkman does appear to be in much better shape this season. He looks lean and mean. Looks that breaking ball just foul down the right field line.
Split last year between Houston and the New York Yankees. And a full count 3-2. He has never hit well in this ballpark. .220 for his career. I'll never forget that near tornado that ripped through town. It was early September. There was lightning all over the place, and he was the first guy off the field. Get me out of here. And he draws a one-out walk.
Well, for a guy who wasn't known for his quickness, he got off the field in a hurry.
Yes, he did.
The new Bud Light Bleachers Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesdays, and $1 Vienna beef hot dog Wednesdays. Tuesday special is also available in select locations in the seating bowl. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Molina hit into a double play to end the top of the first. And it's 2-0 on him.
When Tony La Russa is at the helm of this Cardinals ball club, this is a guy he likes to play hit and run with. Yadier Molina, very good hit and run candidate. Hit that ball the opposite way. I asked Joe Patini, the acting manager, what are you going to do tonight? You're going to squeeze? You're going to hit and run? You're going to start your runners? He says, I'm not going to tell you.
That's not nice. Well, runner goes and swinging away, and a gapper for Molina. And Berkman will score easily. I think we have our answer. On a 2-0 pitch, Joe Patini pulls some strings, and the Cardinals have tied it up.
I think the safest plan of attack for an interim manager is to just do what you usually do. And the Cardinals like to play hit and run with Molina. Good contact hitter. Good opposite field hitter. Berkman gets a good jump over at first base. Unfortunately, Molina finds that gap in right center. Not only drives in Berkman from first base, but gets himself into scoring position.
Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Yadier Molina takes advantage of getting ahead in the count. He is now 10 for 18 after a 2-0 start to an at-bat. Nick Punto looks at ball one. So coming off sports hernia surgery back in February. He started the year on the disabled list. Spent the last 8+ years with the Twins, signed with the Cardinals in January.
Defensively in the outfield, the Cubs are certainly expecting Punto to hit the ball the other way. Soriano way over close to the line in left field. Bird several steps over into the gap in left center, and Kosuke Fukudome over toward the gap in right center. And with this alignment, if you're Nick Punto, you would have to guess away. And when you see the opposing team line up the way the Cubs are in the outfield, you have to assume they're going to work you with hard stuff away. Hits by direction would suggest that maybe the Cubs should be playing straight up, or maybe even a step or two to pull.
Well, he does drive it the other way, and a slip by Soriano gets all the way past him to the wall. And Molina's going to trot home. Punto around second. On his way to third, he will stop there. Well, it has been A busy night for Alfonso Soriano. 2 excellent catches earlier in the game. But he just simply fell down. The ball got over him. And it's 3-2. That's a triple for Punto.
Well, he was aligned perfectly. Zambrano executes his pitch, a fastball on the outside corner. They hit it right at Soriano. Unfortunately, lost his footing, went down to the seat of his pants. Has to run all the way to the bricks to retrieve that one, and by the time he gets to it, Punto's on third base, and Molina back in the dugout with the 3rd run of the game for the Cardinals.
Descalzo pops it up, and it looks like Punto's going to try it. Bird the catch. Here comes a runner toward the plate, and he is safe. Now the Cubs should appeal. Everybody pointing at from the dugout to third base. And he's out. He did leave early. He left too soon. The third base umpire, Paul Nauert, made the call, and Joe Patini is going to come out and join the fray. Did he leave too soon? Well, looked like it from this look, but we'll get another one when we come back.
Run lead, but the Cubs catch a huge break on the final out of the inning. Nick Punto ruled by third base Paul Nauert to have left too soon. We'll slow it down for you. You see Marlon Byrd getting ready to catch the ball. Very similar to a play we had earlier this year against the Dodgers when Jerry Sands was tagging at third. His body was moving, but his foot was still on the base as Marlon Byrd caught the ball. Big break for the Cubs right there.
It looked like it was a split second, but that he was still on the bag when the ball hit the mitt. Cubs will take it. Cardinals will have to settle for 2, so 3-2 they lead. And Coy Hill lines right into the glove of Chris Carpenter. Sometimes you catch the ball caught Carpenter's glove in this case. Look at this.
Hit to his glove side made it a fairly easy play for the Cardinal right-hander. Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN TV is sponsored in part by Mega Millions and now Powerball from the Illinois Lottery. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $18 million, while Wednesday's Powerball jackpot sits at $65 million. Just in case you want to see what $65 million looks like.
I do.
I would love to see what it looks like.
Oh, 1 to Zambrano. Tap foul. Well, the Reds won last night. Travis Wood with a 3-run homer, pitched a shutout into the 7th. And the Reds lead again tonight, 6-0 in the bottom of the 4th behind Homer Bailey. How about the Pirates going into their game tonight against the Dodgers? 18-17. It's the latest the Pirates have been over 500 in a season since May 29th, 2004. They trail 5-2 in the 7th. Zach Greinke got his first win with Milwaukee last night, 4-3 over San Diego. And the Brewers lead again tonight, 8-0. Sean Markham dominating the Padres. He's given up just 1 hit through 4. Base hit rolled into right.
Big Z had some good swings at breaking pitches in that sequence. Carpenter finally gets one up high enough in the strike zone that he can do some damage. Hard ground ball through that right side with 1 out in the inning.
We've seen some amazing defensive plays this season, but it's hard to top Yuniesky Betancourt's behind the back glove flip to Ricky Weeks to turn a 6-4-3 double play last night. It was pretty special.
Yeah, we have seen some amazing plays already this year. Seems like guys are getting more and more athletic with more of an emphasis on defense and pitching in the game nowadays. Some of those defensive plays are taking the place of the monster home runs on the highlight reels.
Oh, 2 on Fukudome. Say hi to Grady Tips watching tonight. Sent us a nice note. Chris Tillery watching in Carmel, Indiana. Will be at the game Monday in Cincinnati. Z wants to run. He always would like to run, but I don't think he has the green light. Got him. Called strike 3 on a fastball. Don't miss the action as the Cubs and Cardinals do battle this Thursday here at Wrigley. Game time 1:20, but be sure to arrive early. First 10,000 adults 21 and older will get a Cubs golf towel, compliments of Budweiser. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Barney with a ground ball. Punto up with it. The inning comes to an end. We'll go to the 5th. 3-2 St. Louis. Hey, Chicagoland viewers, how would you like to win five $5 footlongs from Subway? Just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. Go to WGNTV.com for complete info and rules. 3-2 St. Louis as we play the top of the fifth. And a rough start for the Cubs rotation, but they've been a lot better lately as Chris Carpenter's made contact pretty well the last two times up. He lined out to Soriano in the second and flies out to Bird here in the fifth. Last 5 games, Cubs starters with a collective 2.91 ERA.
Yeah, they've done their job. They've given the team a chance to win some games. We talked about the lack of clutch hitting, lack of timely hitting. Those numbers would be a lot better. Occasionally get some support.
Ryan Theriot spent 6 years with the Cubs, 470 games. Rather 609 games and hit .287. Big part of the back-to-back division title teams in 07 and 08. 2008 he hit .307. Got on base at a .387 clip.
Ryan Theriot does what he does. You know, he's one of those guys. He's an overachiever. He's a hustler. You know, you're going to get 100% of everything he's got every day he's out there on the field. Occasionally his base running judgment wasn't great. His range at times was a little lacking at shortstop, but once again, you knew you were going to get everything he had every day.
His former LSU and Cub teammate Mike Fontenot will be in town this weekend with the Giants. Two-hopper backhanded by Castro. Theriot's hit the ball that way every time up, and he's 0 for 3.
We want to recognize your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers for their support of local youth baseball leagues. Through the Chevy Youth Baseball program, the local Chevrolet dealers are supporting over 35,000 young ball players in their communities. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
Like how that little lefty took a quick glance at the camera.
He was checking the runner. That's what he was doing.
Right. Oh, one to Rasmus, swing and a miss. Happy 29th birthday to Nicole watching in Bensonville. So however many Nicoles in Bensonville turning 29 on May 10th. Happy birthday. You know who you are.
That's right.
Wind in the 1-2. Fly ball. It's Soriano in left. And maybe a future Cub starting left-handed pitcher. 3-2 Cardinals. Cubs batting in the 5th inning. Marlon Byrd with an 11-game hitting streak. Two and 0. How about this one, Bob? On Sunday, all 7 American League games, including one team with 5 runs. Exactly. So for instance, one game would be 5-2, the other might be 8-5. It's the first time a league had that happen since 1993, when all 7 National League teams each had, or games had a team with 2 runs. Terrio throws out Byrd.
That is odd. Odd that somebody keeps track of those things. How odd would it be if every game in the major leagues on a given day finished 1-0 or 5-4? Every game.
Could happen.
I think it will.
There's a statistician out there telling me that the probability of that is the same as the probability of whatever score there is. So, yeah, it's possible over the next 100 years. Ramirez, 3 for 3.
The 2011 Chicago Cubs on WGN are brought to you by Bud Light Lime. Just the right taste of Bud Light with a refreshing splash of 100% natural lime flavor.
Beautiful Wrigley Field. And it's more beautiful when you have a night like this. 67 very comfortable degrees as we got started tonight. Cubs have played very well against their top rivals over the last several years. They've gone 56-41 since 2005 against St. Louis. 1-1 on Soriano. Dominican flag. Mentioned a bunch of Dominican Republic players from both teams honored before the game as Soriano waves at a 75-mile-an-hour curveball. 1-2. Albert Pujols and former Cub Miguel Batista were the Cardinals honored. Ramirez a runner at first, 1 out. Cubs trail 3-2. They've gone 0 for 5 in their last 5 series openers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog on WGNTV.com. I've got some pre-series notes on this matchup from the park today. Oh, we've got all kinds of pictures. Wrigley Field hot dogs. We've got video. Shaka Smart, the VCU Final Four coach, singing the 7th inning stretch. A link to our new podcast and more. WGNTV.com. Swing and a miss by Carlos Pena. The Cubs are out hitting the Cards 9-5, but all of their hits have been singles. In on the hands, and he popped it up. It's Descalzo, the third baseman, and that'll end the inning. A hit, no runs. The Cubs have stranded at least one in every inning and trail 3-2. Cardinals getting the lead twice. A run on the first. Cubs came back and a 2-run single by Aramis Ramirez. St. Louis would add 2 in the fourth and a 3-2 edge. And the big story in St. Louis and really around baseball in early February was the contract situation for Albert Pujols as he slices one into the right field corner, picks up his second hit of the night. And he's going to stop at second with a double. He is a free agent after the season and had set a mid-February deadline for a deal or no negotiations until after the year. They did not come up with an agreement. So we'll see what happens after this season. And as we mentioned, off to a pretty slow start according to his standards for sure. 2 hits in this one.
Only the third double of the season for Albert Pujols. He has 7 home runs. Thoughts about getting his first triple right there, but decided to hold up at second base with nobody out in the inning.
Nice piece written by Bernie Miklas, very analytical sports columnist in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, and just kind of breaking down the numbers of Pujols' start. He's hitting the highest percentage of ground balls and the lowest percentage of line drives in his career, so that certainly is an explanation of what's going on, and seems to be struggling mostly on pitches on the outer part of the zone, although he just hit one into the right field corner.
And struggling against fastballs, if I remember correctly, at least comparatively with what he's done in the past. I'll tell you, the thing about Albert Pujols' swing is it's so hard to get in on him with a fastball. He can pull his hands in close to his body. He gets the barrel of the bat on balls and keeps them fair better than any hitter in the National League. A lot of the pitches that he hits fair down into the left field corner, most hitters would pull foul way out of play. So I think teams have just decided rather than take the chance on coming inside and having Albert muscle one down that left field line, force him to hit the ball the other way.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Holiday has fanned twice. And when you're hitting 400, 1 for 3 makes your average go down. I know that's why you didn't hit 400, because, you know, 1 for 3, you wanted your average to go up. You didn't want it to go down.
Yeah, I had a season
too much to think about.
Where a 1 for 5 would make my average go up.
Well, Pujols is not the Cardinals' highest paid player. It is Holiday, who makes $17 million. Pujols at $16 million, and that's more about the timing of their long-term deals. Albert is ending a contract that started in 2004. Holidays began in 2010. 2-0. Bob, that last pitch was what we've talked about a lot this season. When you're locked in, just by the way a guy takes a pitch, you can tell he's comfortable. And Lance Berkman, not interested. He was interested in that one, however. Deep center. Bird is going to get to it. Wynn helping a little bit. Pujols will tag and end up at third.
It seems kind of odd, Len, but when a hitter's locked in, he'll take a lot of strikes because it's maybe not the exact pitch he was looking for, or maybe not the exact location he was looking for, but they're so confident that if they do get that pitch, they're going to hit it hard. And Berkman did crush that ball just to the right of straightaway center. Fortunately, that wind continues to howl in from right field and knock that one down into the glove of Marlon Byrd.
Good block by Coy Hill. You missed it earlier. Giovanni Soto had to leave in the first inning with a left groin strain after he blocked a pitch. Let's look in on the Cubs' upcoming schedule, brought to you by Lincoln. It's not just luxury, it's smarter than that. Feel smarter at Lincoln.com. You've got the Cardinals and Cubs tomorrow night, Thursday afternoon, and then the defending champion Giants come in Friday for the weekend. And they were supposed to, let me double check, get two guys back off the DL tonight. Andres Torres and Mark DeRosa. They're playing later tonight. So those moves not yet official, but sounded like they're both due back.
They play Arizona later this evening in San Francisco. Ian Kennedy for the Diamondbacks against Tim Lincecum, who's 3-3 on the season for the Giants.
So that means the Cubs will get Lincecum on Sunday. That's going to hold up Fukudome. Retires Molina, who lines out. Midway in the sixth, 3-2 Cards.
Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Of course you do. Well, now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long, so don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE front row seats auction today.
Starlin Castro playing leadoff man, even though he's hitting 7th. First batter of the bottom of the 6th and a base hit. He's been on twice, a walk and a single. Double digits in hits again, Bob, against Chris Carpenter.
Third start in a row he's given up at least 10 base hits. He just doesn't look like the Chris Carpenter of old. His command is not nearly as sharp as we've seen in the past. When he's gone to the breaking pitches, he hasn't been consistently able to spot them in the strike zone.
Hill popped out with the bases loaded in the first and then lined out to the pitcher. Scalded one back up the middle. It was flagged down by Carpenter. It's low and inside. 1-0 the count. Francisco Liriano, after the start after his no-hitter last week, he had to leave due to illness after 3 innings. And Detroit, in a delay in the bottom of the 4th, leads Minnesota 5-0. In the air for Rasmus. And get to the warning track right in front of 368. Castro went about a third of the way before reversing field. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Glenn and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from packed Wrigley Field.
You know, Len, that was actually really good base running by Starlin Castro, even though he didn't have the opportunity to advance. Went about halfway when he saw Rasmus in center field square up and face home plate to make the catch. He hustled back to the bag at first, tagged, and was busting it towards second base, watching the flight of the ball from the outfield. When he saw it was on line, he just slammed on the brakes, as you said, went back to first base. If Rasmus' throw was offline one side or the other, he gets himself into scoring position.
Z trying to bunt his way on and bunted it foul. Off man Kosuke Fukudome on deck.
Oh, and almost got him on the front leg right there. A slider that started off the plate inside and kept working further in. He's got quick feet. We know that on the mound when he picks off base runners, and he uses it to his advantage here in the batter's box this time.
Carpenter set right at the belt. And a 2-strike bunt picked up by Carpenter, and the tying run now in scoring position on the sacrifice.
Carlos Zambrano, taking a page out of Carlos Pena's book, drops down a perfect 2-strike bunt. don't have to be so fine with 2 strikes. You definitely want to keep it in fair territory. Carlos moves Starlin Castro into scoring position here. Quick word from his skippers. He got back to the bench. See if Kosuke can pick up that runner at second base with 2 outs.
A walk, a ground out, and a strikeout. Scalzo plays even with a bag at third, pulled way off the line. Everybody else back. Curve at 72, in for a strike. Another one.
Maybe the 2 best breaking balls Carpenter's thrown all night. Dropped them right on the outside corner to jump ahead in the count 0-2. Yeah, maybe on the outside corner. Close enough in the estimation of Doug Eddings behind home plate. Now Kosuke's really got a battle.
It's right in front of home plate. Well, Roy Halladay with a complete game loss. He went 8 innings. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned run. Marlins got 1 in the bottom of the 8th and beat the Phillies 2-1. Mike Dunn got the win in relief of Josh Johnson. Good tweet by Jason Stark. He said the last 3 Halladay Johnson matchups, 47 innings combined, 3 earned runs. Swing and a miss as the ball gets away from Molina, and he'll get it to Pujols in time. 6 complete. 3-2 St. Louis.
Look at tonight's Bud Fan Cam.
The sun just followed, knew himself inside out. When we'd watch him go to work each day, I come back underneath the moon at night. We hear them laughing, talking always.
That's one more night from Blue Rodeo. That's our Bud Fan Cam. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Z keeping his team in the game. 0-1 to Nick Punto. Rolled right back up the middle for his second hit.
Punto, a good contact hitter, gets a pitch up and out over the plate. Doesn't try to do too much right there. Just hit it hard right back where it came, right over the mound, over second base, on into center field for a leadoff knock.
Tom O'Reilly, friend of Chicago Cubs Charities, along with Sean O'Reilly and Dan Kirk, will conduct the 7th inning stretch coming up. Outside to Descalzo. I thank Mark Stencil, our graphics expert, for helping us tweak our new look here in 2011. Graphics look fantastic. Very graphic, though.
Yeah.
Got to be honest. Carpenter on deck. Nobody up in the Cardinal pen. Blooper into center. And Bird can't get there in time. Back-to-back singles. And it will be Carpenter in a bunting spot. Take the Cubs with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Cubs game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Cubs.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Carpenter with one sacrifice bunt on the season. As you see the activity in the Cubs bullpen, right-hander Marcos Mateo, left-hander John Grabo. Cardinals pitching staff in the past, they show bunt extremely early, even while the pitcher's still getting his signs from the catcher. They'll square around, show bunt. As Carlos goes into a set position, they pull the bat back, and then they may bunt or they may slash. I was watching Carpenter in batting practice today, and he was not only working on his bunting, putting balls down the first and third baseline, but also, I wouldn't really call it a slug bunt because he wasn't swinging. He was just trying to bunt the ball extremely hard, like try to get it past a charging infielder.
2-0.
You would assume Carpenter's going to try to bunt this ball down the third baseline, force Ramirez to come in and make the play.
About as perfectly as you can do it.
Textbook.
5-4. On his 40th career sack bunt. Bluebirds out again for Ryan Theriot as Mike Quaddy calls the entire infield in. Second and third with one out.
It looked like most of Mike Quaddy's conversation was directed at the infielders for the Cubs right there.
So everybody pulled in. And here we go. Inside. In his career against Carlos Zambrano, Ryan Theriot is 0 for 3. Going back about an hour and 50 minutes. I didn't even have to look that one up. 1-1.
I'm sure part of what Mike Quaddy talked to his Cubs infield about was the possibility of a squeeze bunt with Ryan Theriot at the plate.
Line to Fukudome. Here comes Punto. Ball gets out of Coy Hill's glove. And everybody's safe. So it's 4-2. It'll be a sac fly for Theriot.
Boy, that's really unfortunate. Fukudome with a nice running catch coming straight in, gets rid of the ball quickly. Plenty of time to Coy Hill. He just could not hang on to the throw. Nice long hop. Must have just taken his eye off the ball in anticipation of that runner coming down the third baseline.
Driven as deep center by Colby Rasmus. Marlon Bird the catch. Tom O'Reilly with our 7th inning stretch.
These conductors for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Guests of Cubs Charities, Tom, Gary, and Sean O'Reilly, and Dan Kerr.
All right, fans, let me hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So just root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Let's get some runs.
(4-2) St. Louis. Bottom of the 7th. Ryan Theriot with a sac fly, adding some insurance. So Nick Punto scored earlier. Was called out on appeal that he left early. Our replay showed he did not. Second time around, he shouldn't have scored, but did. There's a base hit for Barney, and the tying run will come up for the Cubs. Darwin Barney's 3 for 4.
All 3 base hits coming right back up the middle of the field. That was a cut fastball that stayed on the inside part of the plate. Once again, just muscles it out there in the shallow center in front of Rasmus for a leadoff hit.
Carpenter just hit the 100 pitch mark here tonight. Again, nobody up in the bullpen. Back-to-back hits to start the inning. The ball hit particularly hard. The Cubs now with 12 hits, all singles.
Ramos Ramirez a perfect 3 for 3 on the evening. Obviously all 3 of them singles, although the first one drove in the first 2 runs of the game, the only 2 runs of the game for the Cubs.
Popped him up. Infield fly rule was in effect. That ball was caught at foul ground by Descalzo. Here's Soriano.
That's got to be Jason Mott warming up down in the bullpen. First warm-up toss was about 98 miles an hour and came all the way to the backstop.
You are correct.
You don't even have to look. I saw him jump up off the bench in the very first warm-up pitch he threw. No exaggeration, had to be 85 miles an hour. No easing into it for Jason Mott.
Kind of a closer by matchup or committee, however you want to call it, after Ryan Franklin lost his job in mid-April. Big swing by Soriano, fouled it back, 1-1. Just to show you, there really has been a committee. They have 3 guys with 3 saves each. And none of them is Ryan Franklin. Soriano gets hit by a curveball that didn't curve, and they're loaded for Carlos Pena.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Len. Just a spinner. That ball was supposed to take the break and work its way back toward the middle of the plate. It stayed way inside. Actually looked like a splitter the way it came out of his fingers. Catches Soriano on the back of the left thigh, loading him up for Carlos Pena.
This is the chance the Cubs need to take advantage of. They have left runners on in every inning, including the bases loaded in the first. Swing and a miss. Cubs hitting 160 with the bases loaded. That was coming into action tonight. Ramirez picked up a 2-run single in the first with the bases loaded. And later in that inning, Coy Hill popped out. Well, the thing about that stat, Bob, is that, and with less than 2 outs, the Cubs were 2 for 11. Boy, guys love to hit with the bases loaded. You see a lot of really high batting averages because, as you said earlier, the pressure in this spot is squarely on that guy.
Yeah, up until you get to 2 strikes in this situation, this is where you really keyhole and look for specific pitches in specific spots. A full swing and a check swing on fastballs up above the top of the strike zone right here. I can't believe that Carlos Pena went to the plate looking for those pitches, but little over aggressiveness chases 2 pitches up out of the strike zone to fall behind the count 1-2.
Well, that is a huge swing pitch in this at bat. Gives Carpenter a lot of options. So Pena take a little peek down at Descalzo at third. He's already done the sneak attack twice this year with 2 strikes, laying down a bunt, and you see Descalzo's not playing in, as they have shifted against Pena even with the bases loaded. Up in the air to right. Berkman under it. Here comes Barney toward the plate. Cut off by Pujols. Throw to third. And Bird is safe there. That's a sacrifice fly for Pena. And Matt Garza's excited. It's 4-3. They get that run right back after the Cardinals added some insurance.
Not as routine a tag and score as you might think because of that wind blowing in from right field. Berkman ends up on a dead sprint coming straight down that right field line as he makes the catch and uncorks that throw to home plate. I don't think they had any chance to get the runner at the plate, and a heads up tag by Marlon Byrd to get to third base.
Castro takes a cutter for a strike on the outside corner. Pena knocks in Barney. 10th RBI of the year for Pena. Barney has scored 2 runs tonight. Little floater. And it's going to drop, and the Cubs tie it. Starlin Castro with an RBI single. Demoted to the 7th spot, comes up with a huge knock.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it doesn't have to be effective. Cued it right off the end of the bat, really killing that ball, and then the wind knocks it down even more. That away, kid.
Strike to Coy Hill.
Well, we know Tony La Russa's not here tonight. Joe Patini, the acting manager, but I have to believe that Dave Duncan is solely in charge of this Cardinals pitching staff tonight and chooses to leave his starter in here to a really rough 7th inning.
Hits for the Cubs. Carpenter without a win. This is his 8th start. He was nursing a 1-run lead for most of the night, then a 2-run advantage before the Cubs just tied it up. Swing and the miss, 2-2. Washington held off Atlanta 7-6 tonight. It's kind of a blowout before the Braves scored 5 in the 8th. Jason Marquis is 4-1. He beat Tim Hudson. Pujols fields, Carpenter covering first, and the inning is over, but the Cubs on 3 hits and a hit batter tie it up with 2. It's 4-4. Been a tough go for Starlin Castro recently and sent down to the 7th spot, but he just tied the game on his 2nd consecutive hit tonight. 4-4 as we get into the 8th. And right-hander Kerry Wood will take over. The bullpen has been almost spotless here lately.
Good numbers for Woody this season in his 13 previous ball games. How about this, Len? The St. Louis Cardinals, we get our matchup sheets, each Cubs pitcher against all the Cardinal hitters and vice versa. Kerry Wood against Lance Berkman, 34 at-bats. Albert Pujols, 38 at-bats. Nobody else on the roster has more than 4 ABs against Kerry Wood.
They'll both come up here in the 8th. I'd say this is a tough part of the order.
Yeah.
Pujols, Holiday, Berkman. Ball bounced behind home plate. Shout out to Erica Bandemir watching tonight in Naperville, cheering on the Cubs. Ground ball. Knocked down by Castro. He's going to make a throw, but that's probably ill-advised. Once he was in the outfield grass and dropped the ball, Pujols was going to beat it out. That'll be the 3rd hit for Pujols.
It looked like it hit Starlin Castro near the heel of his glove and just dropped down to the grass right there. I just couldn't close the glove around it by the time he recovers and throws across the diamond. Pujols has legged it out for an infield single. Albert doesn't always run out ground balls to the infield as hard as he does this one. He was smelling a base hit right there. If he hits a ball directly at an infielder and the infielder fields it cleanly, he's been known to just take a little jog down that first base line and save his energy for later in the game.
One to Holiday. Foul pop to the seats. 34,249 in the ballpark tonight. It's been a fun one. Cubs have come back twice. Jackie Budden watching in Hazel Green, Wisconsin tonight. Richard and Julie Brew. I want to send them a happy 55th wedding anniversary watching on WGN America in Portland, Oregon. Probably big Darwin Barney fans. Bit of a scary proposition here. A 3-1 count to the major league's leading hitter at 396. There it is. And he walked him.
Meet the team, have a ball, presented by Bank of America's on Wednesday, May 25th at 2:30. Collect autographs on an authentic MLB baseball from the 2011 Cubs players and coaches in attendance. Limited tickets are available for $300 each. Proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com or call 773-404-CUBS.
Well, Kerry Wood probably needs to pull a strikeout out of his trick bag here, or get a ground ball to one of his infielders. Swing and a miss by Berkman.
7 times in the 34 at bats I mentioned for Berkman. He did strike out against Kerry Wood.
Padres getting back into their game in Milwaukee. They were down 8-0. It's now 8-5 in the bottom of the 7th. They just completed the 7th, in fact. Fly to right. Pujols ready to tag. Fukudome makes a catch and Pujols takes off. Here comes a throw. It's offline. If it had been online, they may have had a shot. Also on the play, Holiday advanced to second. That's the second time these two guys have gotten an extra base with very smart base running.
Where's the cutoff man? Somebody has got to be in position to cut that ball off when you see Holiday tagging at first, trying to go into second base. And Darwin Barney appears to be responsible for covering the bag at second. Starlin Castro just stands at his position and watches that ball sail past, allowing both runners to move into scoring position.
And that'll force Wood to intentionally walk Molina. And they'll pitch to Nick Punto with the bases loaded.
Little things like that. You cut that ball off and hold Holiday at first base. It keeps the double play in order. You're pitching to a guy that doesn't run extremely well with runners at the corners, a double play, and you're out of the inning.
Right-hander Miguel Batista up in the Cardinal pen. I don't think there's any doubt Carpenter's done after 116 pitches in 7 innings as Punto fouls off. Check on Chris Carpenter. I can't imagine he's given up 13 hits in a game very often in his career. And he never had prior to tonight. That's a career high in hits allowed. He had allowed 12 hits 5 different times, but never 13. He's been around for a while. It's 1997. 1-1 into left, coming on Soriano, and everybody's got a hold. Momentum heading toward the plate. Pujols was a few steps off of third, and a big second out for Kerry Wood.
Fortunately for the Cubs, Nick Punto hit that ball well. Fastball right down the middle of the plate, lines it into left field where Soriano comes charging in from his position. Remember earlier we talked about where he's positioned for Nick Punto. Very close to that third base line, makes a nice running catch coming straight in and holds the runners.
Brings up this Scalzo, 1 for 3. Two and 0. Big swing, fouled it right at the plate. Scalzo, 3rd round pick in 07 out of University of California, Davis. Two and 2.
He just overpowers Descalso this time with a fastball up in the zone. Well tardy.
Base hit right field. Cardinals get 1. Second runner will score. That's Holiday. And it's 6-4 as Daniel Descalzo comes up with a huge 2-run single.
Take a look at our BMW ultimate drive of the game. After getting beat up in the strike zone with a fastball on the previous pitch, Descalzo turns it up a notch. That time was able to catch up to the Kerry Wood heater, driving in a couple of teammates. The ultimate drive brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana BMW dealers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
And John Jay will hit for Chris Carpenter, who now has a chance once again for his first win. It's Marcos Mateo up for the Cubs in their bullpen. Looks like it's going to be Miguel Batista in the bottom of the 8th for St. Louis.
I'll tell you what, Len, I can't argue with the pitch that time from Kerry Wood. He had just blown a fastball right by Descalzo on the pitch before. You're always taught don't get beat with your second best pitch, and right now Kerry Wood's best pitch by far is his fastball. Just tip your cap to Descalzo that time for making an adjustment in the middle of the at-bat to be able to catch up with that next heater.
Jay has hit 2 home runs this season, both as a pinch hitter. And he slices one foul. The kick and the pitch inside. Three and one. Very similar lines for Carpenter and Zambrano. Carpenter gave up 5 more hits, but same amount of runs, same walks, and 4 strikeouts for Carpenter, 3 for Zambrano. And Carpenter leaves the game with a .432. Zambrano has a 4.35. Ball 4 to load him up. Here comes Terrio. 5th opportunity for the fans to let him have it tonight.
He's going to get booed when he gets back to Busch Stadium in St. Louis for some of his comments about Cardinal fans today.
I guess he went on a radio show here in town, and the hosts were having a little fun at the Cardinal fans' expense, and I think Ryan just kind of added to the conversation. It seemed pretty benign at the time, but we'll see. Everybody takes everything so seriously these days, huh?
He said, what?
Big 2-run single by Descalzo with 2 outs here in this inning, giving the Cardinals a lead once again. 1-2 to Terrio.
This is the best velocity we've seen from Kerry Wood so far this season. He's consistently hitting 95, 96 when he throws that four-seam fastball. The cutter sitting at the low 90s. Cardinals have put together some pretty good at-bats against him, however, in this inning.
That's Rasmus on deck. Keeping the fake batter's box clean. Smooth. And he got him. It was a grind for Kerry Wood in the 8th as the Cardinals get 2 and now lead 6-4. Time now for our Honda Games summary. Albert Pujols hitting under 250 going into action tonight with 3 hits and 1 run. Back the go-ahead run in the 8th inning. Cubs with no extra base hits among their 13. Visit your local Honda dealer today to test drive the 2011 Honda Cross Tour. Available with 4-wheel drive, or 4WD as we say in the biz. John Jay stays in to play right, improving their defense out there. Berkman out. Former Cub Miguel Batista off to a very good start. Again, they kind of match things up late in games. It's worked out well so far since Ryan Franklin was taken out of the closer's role. Now, Bob, in theory, if you've got a bunch of relievers who are pitching well, I would think a manager would tell you, you know what, it's nice to not have to go to one guy if I like a different matchup. And it sounds like, and well, based on what's happened since Ryan Franklin was demoted a little less than a month ago, that's exactly what they've done. Got a bunch of guys with at least 1 save.
Sometimes you play the personal matchups. This guy has good career numbers against this particular hitter, or maybe these 2 or 3 hitters that start the inning. Play the righty-lefty matchups. I mentioned the Cardinals only have 1 lefty, Trevor Miller, in the bullpen, but they have 3 right-handers, Sanchez, Salas, and Mott, who have all pitched extremely well against left-handed hitters this year. So, yeah, you just kind of match them up. Who's throwing the ball well right now? Who has good numbers against the hitters they're going to face? And you're not confined to one guy to come in there in the 9th.
Blake DeWitt. And a catch by John Jay. So a fortuitous defensive change for the Cardinals as John Jay comes in for Lance Berkman and robs a hot Blake DeWitt from what would have been a leadoff double.
5 for 16 before that at bat for Blake DeWitt. Off the bench for Mike Quade. He scalded a dead ball toward the right field corner. Jay got a great jump on it, uses his speed, just outruns the baseball that time. The wind not blowing nearly as hard now as it was earlier in the ball game.
Very calm at the moment. You know, I think in theory, and it's been talked about a lot, Boston tried it a few years ago to not have a designated closer, to maybe use your best pitcher in the highest leverage spot, you know, tough part of the order. For instance, the inning Kerry Wood just pitched, you've got 3, 4, 5, as tough as it gets against the Cardinals. Even if you had a 1-run lead, you might bring your quote closer into the 8th. I think, Bob, from a manager and pitching coach's standpoint, it isn't ideal to be able to use whomever you like, but the argument against it, there are two parts. Number one, they say the 25th, 26th, and 27th outs are the toughest to get, and secondly, that guys like to know their role. And that's something you can't answer with the numbers, but I know you've experienced it. Most closers like to be the closer.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to impress upon them the importance of maybe 3 outs in the 7th inning, or as you said, 3 outs in the 8th inning when you're facing the middle of the opponent's lineup. They're conceivably their best hitters. They're guys that have done the most damage. That may be the point of the ball game where you want your closer out there on the mound and then finish up with somebody else. And turn those roles around, the closer setup man role, just in a given situation.
There's a third one that I didn't mention. You've got your agent whispering in your ear, hey, you're not doing us a lot of good if you're not piling up saves. So you might be helping your team, but I want you to make $5 million next year, not $2 million. And I get it. And if you're a free agent and you go into a situation where you know you're not going to be the closer, you're not going to be the setup guy, you may get 30 save chances, you may get 10. Just depends on how the game goes. I think I'll go somewhere else. But again, the Cardinals are in this situation because Ryan Franklin struggled. That's the only reason.
Well, I guess my argument would be, do you want to make a lot of money or do you want to win a World Series?
That's right. I think most guys want to do both.
Yeah. Well, you win the World Series, the money will follow. As we have proven time and time again, the money does not guarantee a World Series.
Now, I'll tell you one guy, the exception to maybe that rule, and you managed him as a guy on the mound. He will do anything you ask. Miguel Batista. He's closed. He's started. Pitching in setup relief tonight.
He's done it already this year. He started one day and came back and relieved the next.
Barney got hit, but fortunately he's all right.
Miguel Batista with his 9th major league team, one of 11 active players in the big leagues at 40 years of age or older. Still has an electric arm, throws in the low to mid-90s. 2-seam fastball, a cutter. He has a curve and a slider and a straight changeup, but mostly lives with that fastball moving in both directions.
Inning still alive after Barney got hit. This will hold up for Rasmus, and that'll end the threat. Again, the Cubs have stranded at least one in every inning. 6-4 Cardinals. Swing and a miss underway in the ninth. Colby Rasmus against new Cubs pitcher left-hander John Graybo. Rare misstep by the Cubs bullpen. They had an 0.81 ERA over the last 14 games coming in. Kerry Wood getting touched up for 2 runs in the 8th after the Cubs tied it in the 7th. Ground ball sending Barney to his right. Gets to the spot, picks it up, and throws him out. Mark Sapelsa, Micah Mater, Tom Skilling, and Dan Roan have the WGN News. Following our ball game is Mike Quade on Graybo to get Colby Rasmus. And he's going to go with the right-hander Marcos Mateo to face the righties coming up, Pujols and Holiday. So Graybo did his job, and it's the rookie Mateo with 1 out in the 9th. Graybo was charged with just facing 1 batter, and he got Colby Rasmus. Ground out. Well, we have a chance. I'll give you the pitching matchups for the rest of this series. Tomorrow night, Cubs' biggest cheerleader, Matt Garza, will be on the mound against sinker baller Jake Westbrook. And then on Thursday, Casey Coleman coming off by far his best outing against 4-0 Jaime Garcia, who has a 1.99 ERA. He's a left-hander. Had a great rookie year last year. It's like Garza and Dempster talking pitching right now.
Dempster's faced this Cardinals lineup many times over the course of his career. For Matt Garza, probably be the first look he gets at some of these Cardinals hitters. So ideally, Ryan Dempster imparting some knowledge there.
Broken bat flare for a base hit. Pujols 4 for 5.
Two of the 4 hits the infield variety. This one a broken bat floater into shallow right center field. He's got 4 hits, but it just doesn't feel like a typical Albert Pujols game.
Well, our storyline coming in is struggling Albert Pujols, but Holiday and Berkman picking him up, and of course Pujols gets 4 hits.
Holiday and Berkman with a single between them. However, they did walk 3 times combined.
Holiday really struggling. He started at 398 tonight. He's way down to 396.
Leaking oil.
Congrats to the Chicago Bulls. They just beat the Atlanta Hawks in the very important Game 5. So they now lead that best of 7, 3 games to 2. Seven-game series, you win Game 5 and you're in very good shape. Over 80% of those series. And Bob, when you're up 3-1, you win Game 5, you win 100% of those series. You heard it here first.
That's good math.
Swing and a miss. Holiday with 3 strikeouts.
Came on a slider. Nothing tricky about it. Not a lot of movement. Kind of a flat slider right in the middle of the strike zone, but Holiday swings right through it.
Mark Hamilton, left-handed hitter. The pinch hit. Batista and James Russell, as Mike Quade continues to match up 6-4. Here's left-hander James Russell's 2nd consecutive relief appearance. He has made 4 starts in that 5th spot. All 4 of his losses coming in those starts.
James Russell's been really good against lefties, especially early in the season when he was the guy to come in and get that 1 or 2 tough lefties in the lineup. He's held them to a .200 batting average this season.
4 scoreless innings and a win as a reliever is pinch hitter Hamilton. It's a rainbow. That's caught by Soriano. 1 pitch for James Russell. Bottom 9. 6-4 St. Louis. And normally with a 2-run lead, you'd say it's his job to get the final 3 outs. That may happen, but the rookie righty, if he looks over his shoulder, he'll see that veteran left-hander Trevor Miller is getting loose. So there's no guarantee that Sanchez is going to finish. There's one other thing about this matchup scenario, Bob, that I think works to a manager's advantage, and that is if a guy like Sanchez starts this inning and just doesn't have it, you take him out. You don't have to answer after the game. Are you changing your closer? You just move on to the next guy. Well, the Cubs hope to put him in that situation as Ramirez will lead it off. Now you've got a left-handed hitting Carlos Pena due up 3rd here in the 9th, and that's where Trevor Miller might fit in.
Although Sanchez, one of the guys I mentioned earlier, lefties are only .215 this season. That's a .133 batting average against the Cardinal right-hander.
And there may be another righty that gets up before Pena comes to the plate, because you might only use Miller for 1 hitter. The 2-0 is a fastball at 93 for a strike. We could say one guy who will not work in this inning is Ryan Franklin. He hasn't worked a lot lately. John Jay camped underneath for out number 1. In fact, Bob, Ryan Franklin's last appearance was May 1st. Week and a half since he last pitched.
So for Ryan Franklin, that's not a bullpen, that's a doghouse.
Yeah.
See Sanchez slinging that ball up there from the low 3/4 arm angle. Basically just throws 2 pitches, a fastball and a slurvy breaking ball.
Fouls it off. Swing and a miss. Got him on the tantalizing curve. Tonight's Budweiser played the game with 2 outs. Daniel Descalzo with a 2-run single to right in the 8th inning after the Cubs had tied the game in the 7th. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. That's Ryan Franklin. Right now he's protecting the bullpen catcher. Outside, ball 1. Partner, how do they determine who gets to stand there and protect the bullpen catcher? Whoever's available?
Well, yeah, usually the veterans tell the younger players that's their job. You definitely want the guy with the biggest glove that knows how to use it.
He's used to protecting leads, but right now he's literally protecting the bullpen. Bounded foul.
A little action too. Oh, he let it go.
There's a lot of incentive for those guys in that Cardinal pen to pitch well, because as they do, they gain more responsibility. And you have a rookie trying to protect a 2-run lead here in the 9th inning. 3-1. Cubs have stranded 11 men on base tonight, including the bases loaded in the 1st and 2 in the 7th. And they got runs in both of those innings. And Pena draws the walk, the 600th walk of his career.
Doug Eddings right on the heels of Yadier Molina heading out to the mound. This appears to be some kind of a stalling tactic by Pujols and Yadier Molina.
Looks like Fernando Salas has joined Miller just in case. I think if Castro gets on, there's a decent chance he'll go with Miller. Coy Hill has never hit a home run in the major leagues from the right side of the plate.
A couple of options for Mike Quade off the bench if indeed that does happen, but the problem is who would you catch if the game ends up tied?
I don't think you have a choice. Have to let Coy take the at bat. Telling Carlos Pena, take as big a lead as you want. In fact, you could probably take second. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Starlin Castro. Tied the game back in the 7th. Just challenged him. There goes Pena on the 1-2. Defensive indifference, so no steal for Pena.
Starlin Castro's willingness to swing at just about everything got him into a little bit of slump, dropped him down to the 7th spot in the lineup. But in these 2 strike counts, that's where it really ends up being a positive. He feels like he can get the bat on anything that opposing pitcher throws up there to the plate, and he's going to have to in this situation to stay alive and hopefully drive home Pena from second base.
Close, but he got the call. 3-2.
See the first group of pitches away. That one appeared to catch the upper corner of the strike zone. It runs the count to full.
The kick and the 3-2. A fly ball right field. This will do it as John Jay makes the grab. And the Cardinals take game 1. 2 8th-inning runs, the difference, as Chris Carpenter gets his first win of the season. The Cubs now 5 back in the division as the first place Cardinals win 6-4.